Your kids might say the wrong thing and it could cost you.
The storm is here. It's time to prepare. Prepare. Prevail.
There's a part of preparedness that almost nobody talks about, and it has nothing to do with gear, food, or supplies. It has to do with something a lot more unpredictable. Your kids. Not because they're a problem, but because they're honest. And in a normal world, that's a good thing. You want your kids to be open. You want them to talk. You want them to feel comfortable saying what's on their mind. But in a bad situation, that same honesty can create problems you didn't see coming. Think about it. Think about how kids communicate. They don't filter information the same way adults do. They don't think about consequences the same way. They don't sit there and ask, should I share this? They just say it. And most of the time, it's completely harmless. But in the wrong situation, at the wrong time, it's not. Imagine this. Things been off for a few days, power's out, people are uneasy, everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. You've been managing things quietly. Maybe you've got some food stored, maybe you've planned a little ahead, nothing crazy, just enough to feel somewhat prepared. And then your kids is outside talking to another kid, or maybe even an adult, and casually, without thinking, they say something like, yeah, we have a bunch of food at our house. To them, that means absolutely nothing. They're not trying to show off. They're not trying to put you in a bad spot. They're just talking. But the person hearing that, they hear it very differently. Now there's a new piece of information out there, and you didn't control it. That's how attention starts. Not from something big, not from a mistake you made directly, but from something small that spread. And once information is out there, you don't get to pull it back. That's the part people underestimate. Preparation isn't just about what you have. It's about who knows you have it. And kids don't naturally understand that line, because why would they? They've grown up in a world where sharing information isn't dangerous, where talking is normal, where being open is encouraged. So expecting them to suddenly switch that mindset without any preparation is unrealistic. This isn't about telling your kids to be quiet or secretive in a harsh way. It's about teaching them awareness. There's a difference. You're not trying to scare them. You're trying to help them understand that some information is just for the family. And that takes time. It takes simple conversations like, hey, if things are ever not normal, we don't talk about what we have at home with other people. Not in a threatening tone, just a matter of fact. Because the goal isn't fear, it's understanding. Now, another thing people don't think about is how kids respond under pressure. If someone asks them a direct question, they'll usually answer it. And honestly, even if they shouldn't. If someone says, do you guys have food? A kid just might say yes, because in their mind, they're just answering a question. They're not thinking about what that answer means. That's where guidance comes in, teaching them that it's okay to not answer everything, that it's okay to say, I don't know, or you'd have to ask my parents. Those small responses matter more than people realize, because they stop information from spreading. And they buy you time. Now here's the part that's harder to talk about. What happens if something has already been said? What happens if information is already out there? That's where awareness becomes even more important. You start paying attention to behavior. Are people asking more questions? Are they lingering longer? Are they watching more than they used to? Because once someone has a reason to be curious, they just don't forget it. And this isn't about assuming the worst in people. It's about understanding how people behave under stress. When resources feel limited, people start looking for options and information. And information helps them find those options, even if it came from a simple conversation with the kid. That's why this matters. Not because kids are doing something wrong, but because they don't see the situation the same way you do. And it's your job to bridge that gap before it matters. At the end of the day, this is one of those things that seems small until it's not. It's easy to focus on the obvious parts of preparedness, the things you can see, the things you can buy, the things you can store. But the human side, the communication side, that's where a lot of people get caught off guard, because it's not something you can fix instantly. It has to be built over time. So if you're thinking about being prepared, don't just think about what you are storing. Think about what's being said and who might hear it, because sometimes the smallest detail is the one that creates the biggest problem. Y'all make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
The storm is here. It's time to prepare. Prepare. Prevail.